Hello everyone and welcome to my CS24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. 90 Day Fiancé. Brandon's parents' cute reaction to Julia's pregnancy is priceless. 90 Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After Season 9 tell-all showed Brandon and Julia breaking the pregnancy news to his parents, Ron and Betty. Upon hearing the good news, Ron and Betty gave their priceless reaction to the couple who had longed for a baby. Julia and Brandon married during the pandemic. They kept trying for a child until they found out she had uterine polyps. Julia's infertility issues broke her apart, since becoming a mother was always on her wish list along with Brandon, who wanted to embrace fatherhood. The show entirely documented their infertility struggles, so fans know how much the pregnancy means to them. They shared some maternity photos before the reunion aired, finally announcing she is pregnant, making fans go crazy. How did Ron and Betty react to the pregnancy? Were they happy? 90 Day Fiancé. Julia calls her mom and dad to surprise them with her baby bump. For the first time, Julia shared pregnancy news with her parents, and that too publicly on the set of 90 Day Fiancé's tell-all. In the latest episode of Happily Ever After Season 9, she made a conference video call to her parents while her co-stars went silent. Luckily, both her parents picked up her call, and she spoke to them in Russian. Suddenly, Julia showed off her 6-month baby bump to her parents after the entire cast said congratulations in Russian. Her parents' happy faces turned shocking in no time, seeing their daughter cradling her tummy. Julia revealed that they are going to be grandparents. This made her mom and dad not trust her. Are you serious? Are you joking? Her mother asked her in Russian. Her dad joked that she had eaten a big dinner. 90 Day Fiancé. Brandon's parents jump in joy over Julia's pregnancy. Brandon posted a video of the best moments from his life at the 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After tell-all event. In the clip, his parents, Ron and Betty, waited for their son to announce something big during a video call. After a couple of seconds of silence, he happily informed them that his wife is expecting. The moment turned into pure joy for Ron and Betty, who couldn't contain their excitement over the positive news. She gave the most expressive response to Julia and Brandon. Even the rest of the cast members witnessed the soon-to-be grandparents spring to their feet in enthusiasm. Brandon's mom covered her mouth in surprise. Ron and Betty even hugged each other after hearing Brandon. Their screaming and dancing reaction totally made Shane and the show's stars emotional. Julia held Brandon's hand with teary eyes. Later, she noticed her husband had tears in his eyes as well, asking if he was crying. Likewise, Ron asked Betty if she would make him cry. Brandon, in his post's caption, called those moments priceless because they didn't plan anything as such. But he knows everything came from the heart and soul. Each one of his co-stars joined him and Julia in making the tell-all memorable for them. They were all out of drama for that time and spread smiles among themselves. Stay tuned to TV season and spoilers for the latest 90 Day Fiancé updates. When Julia held the small white stick in her trembling hands, she knew her entire life was about to shift. She hadn't planned this. She hadn't expected it. But there it was, clear as day. A tiny pink line that changed everything she thought she knew about herself, about Brandon, and about the future she'd always been a little afraid to imagine. She sat on the edge of the bathtub for several minutes, trying to calm her racing heartbeat. A million thoughts swarmed her mind. Was she ready? What about the farm? What about Betty and Ron? She loved them, yes, but she also remembered how they'd suggested that she and Brandon sleep in separate rooms back on their first season. Now she was about to tell them they were becoming grandparents. Brandon found her minutes later, pale-faced and wide-eyed, holding the pregnancy test like it was a winning lottery ticket he wasn't sure he deserved. "Jules," he whispered. "Is that are we?" "I'm pregnant," she said softly. There was a long silence. Then Brandon wrapped his arms around her so tightly she squeaked. He laughed, then cried, then laughed again. "We're having a baby. Oh my God. My mom is going to, well, she might pass out. But then she'll be thrilled. Probably. Hopefully." Julia wiped her eyes. "You think now they will stop calling us every morning?" He snorted. "Oh no. The calls are going to triple. The reveal." That evening, they drove to the farm for dinner. Brandon and Julia had agreed not to make a dramatic reveal. No balloons inside cakes, no tiny onesies wrapped as presents. Just honesty. Simple. Calm. But Julia was anything but calm. She clutched her stomach as the familiar gravel driveway crunched beneath the car tires. The farmhouse lights glowed warmly through the dusk, and the smell of hay drifted in with the breeze. Everything looked exactly as it always had, yet she felt like she was experiencing it through a new lens, like everything was about to become more meaningful, or more chaotic. Betty was already outside before the car even fully stopped, waving dramatically. "There you guys are. I've been texting you all afternoon. Did you not see? I made pot roast. You have to eat, both of you look thin." Julia whispered, "Here it begins." Inside, Ron was in his recliner, watching a fishing show. He stood up when he saw them. "Hey kids. Didn't expect y'all today. What's the occasion?" Julia exchanged a glance with Brandon. He squeezed her hand and cleared his throat. "Well," Brandon said, rubbing the back of his neck. "We came because we have news." Betty's eyes widened. She clasped her hands dramatically under her chin. Are you moving back to the farm?" "No, Mom," Brandon groaned. "Are you getting another dog? You know how I feel about dogs in the bed." "Mom," he cut in. "Just listen." Julia stepped forward. Her hands were shaking. We are having baby." For 3 seconds the room froze. Betty's mouth fell open so wide Julia braced herself for a dramatic scream. But instead, something unexpected happened. Betty blinked, then blinked again, and finally burst into tears. "My baby is having a baby. Oh my goodness," she wailed excitedly, her voice cracking like a teenager's. Before Julia could prepare herself, Betty had wrapped her in a warm, tight, perfume-heavy hug that squeezed the air right out of her lungs. Julia laughed nervously. "Betty, I cannot breathe." Ron stood frozen in place, eyes shiny with emotion. He slowly approached them, much slower than Betty, and placed a gentle hand on Brandon's shoulder. "Son," he said softly, "you're going to be a good dad."